football is back. In their season opener, the Cowboys went toe-to-toe with the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm Dani Sureck. Welcome in to Cowboys Rewind, where every week you'll get the best content DallasCowboys.com has to offer. The Cowboys fall 31-29 to the Bucs Thursday night in their season opener. However, Cowboys fans have plenty to be confident about, more specifically in their quarterback Dak Prescott after the show he put on. It was Prescott's first game back from that gruesome season-ending right ankle injury in Week 5 last season, and he threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. There was no struggle from Prescott coming off that right ankle injury or that right shoulder strain, which kept him out of the preseason. Here's Prescott after his first game in 11 months.
We fought hard. We fought all the way to there in the end. That's a good football team that we're playing. They got us by a field goal right there. We've got to be better situationally in the red zone. Defense did a great job giving us chances when we didn't convert touchdowns or field goals and getting us the ball right back. They did an incredible job, and we'll get better because of this one. Obviously, it was tough. Tough anytime you don't win. As I said, it's the expectations for this team, for myself, and yeah. Came up short.
Did you come in knowing you're going to throw the ball 50 times? Did you put any questions or rest about your health?
No, I didn't plan on throwing it that many times, and no, I never questioned my health or being able to throw it 50 times or how I'd feel out there. I know all the work that I've put in over the off season, through training camp, just everything that I expected to go out there and be able to leave it all out on the field and do whatever I need to do to help this team or give us a fighting chance.
Yeah, you think you said repeatedly that you were going to be okay, you were fine, you were fine, you were fine. Now you went out and did it. Is there any feeling of more coming? Do you feel any more confident having done it as opposed to just saying it?
No, I mean, I don't feel like I say things just to say them. So that's just a credit to all the work that I put in. I think when you invest that much work in rehab and prehab and just everything that has gone into the last 11 months for me to get back onto the field, you're not surprised about the way that I went out there and as I said, ran the ball a couple of times and did things that I normally do 11 months ago. So, no, I feel like I'm a better player than I was when I left the field, and I told you all that was the expectations I had for myself, and I'll continue to try to get better game in and game out.
We talked to you about, getting on the field, having a chance to take a hit and keep going and shake that off. It pressured you a lot tonight. How quickly did you get situated and feel comfortable in the flow?
Yeah, I mean, I think I got hit, the first drive or so. Getting hit as I was made a pass, and after that, yeah, it was a wrap. I mean, as I said, it was one of those things I wasn't going to think about anticipating that first hit or that moment, but once I did, I knew I was fine, and it felt good to run it a couple of times and obviously get down and just know that, yeah, I'm fully healthy, and as I said, I'm the player that I expected to be.
Mike has a different offensive philosophy than Jason did on play for him. You were one first team early in your career. Now you're habitually throwing it 50 times a game. Can you win consistently doing it before?
I mean, we had a chance to win that game right there. Obviously, you want to run the ball more. You want to be balanced, but the pass was working for us, and so that's just the way that the game played out. And we've got the talent on offense and the talent on around the board to be able to do that. So we're going to come in each and every game with a plan to be balanced, and if we have to get heavy one way or another, I'm sure we will. I'm sure there will be games that we run the ball a lot more than tonight, or we plan to.
Talk about the trust you have with your receiving core when you're thrown under pressure there in traffic and you're coming through.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of trust. I've got a lot of trust in myself in making those throws, but more importantly, those guys going and making those contested catches or just being where they need to be, that I can anticipate these throws and let them go. And that's the time that we've put in from the offseason to the last couple of weeks when I've been able to get back to throwing. And they're just talented guys. I know they're going to make the separation and create it, and that gives me a little bit of comfort in just throwing in and trust them as well.
You knew it was going to be a challenge.
The longest to come together?
One more time.
Red zone offense, is that the longest thing it takes to come together?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to be better at it. Point blank period. We've got to be better. We can't settle for field goals, and we've got to score touchdowns, especially with the talent we have, whether it's running or throwing. We've got to find a way. We've got to create some scheme, a little bit more scheme, and we'll go out there and execute better as well. We left some plays out there. A throw that I feel like I could have made a better throw in the 7, giving CD a chance, and a couple of more plays. I'm sure Zeke wants that one-on-one back with the guy on that run. So, I mean, there's opportunities. Obviously, rolling to my right, I feel like I could have got it to Zeke a little bit faster if I bounced back quicker. So, there's plays that we left out there that could have resulted in touchdowns. And it's game one. It's a long season. But we've got to make sure that we get better from this one and allow this to be to propel us.
An explosive outing from the Cowboys offense in their first game of the regular season. What changes did we see from the defense coming off a historically bad year? More Cowboys Rewind right after this.
Cowboys Rewind is brought to you by AT&T and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. This segment is brought to you by Ashley Home Store, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Cowboys Rewind. The Cowboys defense knew it would not be an easy feat going against one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in Tom Brady Thursday night, who was one of just 22 starters the Bucs brought back from their Super Bowl team last season. New defense for the Cowboys under new defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, and they held their own. It was quite the turnaround for the Cowboys defense coming off a historically bad year where they gave up a franchise-high 473 points and finished with the 31st run defense. Against the Bucs, 4 turnovers and an average of 3.7 yards per carry, which is a vast improvement from the 4.9 the Cowboys allowed on average last season. Rookie linebacker and 12th overall draft pick Micah Parsons got a taste in his first NFL game, and who better to go against than one of the greatest quarterbacks, Tom Brady.
I think you learn what separates good quarterbacks from good and great. I think some of the decision makings, how good he was at getting the ball off, seeing the coverages we were in, I just felt like you could tell he's been in the league for 22 years. I'll say that.
How would you assess your play? Did you have the impact you want to have?
You know, football is crazy because it's really just situational. You know what I mean? I wish I could have done more, but some of the situations we was in, whether it was us being backed up or us starting on the wrong side of field position, can't do much, and you kind of limited. And, you know, when a team got that many weapons and you're in a certain field position, you got to call certain calls. So I think I wanted to do more, but very limited day.
How different was the speed of the game and the talent of facing Tom Brady and the Bucs than you expected as well?
The speed itself, man, I don't really have a trouble reading and reacting. It's just more of what we in and how we can adjust to what they're in. I say I'm pretty fast, and I have a good understanding of what's going on. It's just you just got to play better.
This is the first full game that you played in since, I believe, the Cotton Bowl. Did it feel different at all? Were you more tired in the fourth quarter? Just kind of what was it feeling like?
Not tired. We just got to get off the field. When we got them, we got to get off the field. That's all it is. No excuses. Excuses for the week. We got to get off the field and we got to end the game. Simple as that.
Parsons mentioning that field positioning didn't always come in the Cowboys' favor in their 31-29 loss to the Bucs Thursday night. Up next, we talk about the special teams unit and how those struggles contributed to the Cowboys' loss.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley Home Store, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
"31-yard try for Zuerlein, his first field goal of the year from the right hash. The kick missed wide left. 31 yards.
Kicker Greg Zuerlein is coming off back surgery, which kept him out of training camp and the preseason. With 2 minutes to go in Thursday night's game, Zuerlein made a 48-yard field goal to put the Cowboys up by 1. However, it wasn't enough to offset the missed opportunities by the Cowboys earlier in the game. Zuerlein went 2 for 3 in field goal attempts and missed an extra point. Kyle Yeomans, Isaiah Stanback, and Nate Noon discuss how special teams cost Dallas Thursday night's game in this week's special edition.
Is there concern in the kicking game and on special teams? Because there were 4 points left on the board last night. If you wanted to get critical, you might have been able to say more. A PAT and a missed 31-yard field goal. Are you worried at all about Greg Zuerlein?
I'm not. It's just unfortunate that this rust that he had yesterday, that's the rust that you're supposed to knock off in the preseason. And unfortunately, this was his preseason game, and it cost us.
I agree with you 100%, but I'm still on these coverage teams. Cover better, back them up, keep them inside the 25. And that is where we didn't do a great job.
No, not at all. And I think if you're going to leave points on the board against a reigning Super Bowl champion and a quarterback like Tom Brady, it's going to come back to bite you. And, of course, having those 4 points later in the game whenever they were driving for the Ryan Suckup 31-yard field goal, it would have paid dividends, and you didn't have that to work with. However, you mentioned it, this could be the preseason game for Greg Zuerlein. Prior to this game, he was 19 of 19 from inside 40 yards as a Dallas Cowboy, and he did miss that one from 31 yards out. We'll see exactly what Zuerlein has moving forward.
Tune in to Special Edition Saturday nights on CBS 11 at 11:30. In his post-game press conference, head coach Mike McCarthy explained why he decided to go for the 60-yard field goal at the end of the second after Zuerlein had already missed 2 kicks. We hear McCarthy's reasoning on the other side of the break.
Third and 4 at the Tampa 21. Wilson in motion. Back goes Prescott. Deep ball down the right side. He's got Cooper on the right side of the end zone. Comes up with the ball and the touchdown. And he is shaken up. What a route. What a route Amari Cooper ran. Holy cow.
The Cowboys fall 31-29 to the Bucs in their season opener, the NFL season opener Thursday night. Despite the loss, there are still positives to take away for this Cowboys team. Quarterback Dak Prescott looked as good as ever coming off that season-ending right ankle injury in October last season, as well as the right shoulder strain, which kept him out of the preseason this year. Prescott threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Cowboys were able to adjust their game plan offensively. Tampa finished with the best run defense last season, and since they brought back every starter, the Cowboys started relying on the passing game. Wide receivers Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb had no problem carrying the torch, the two of them with the combined 3 touchdowns for the team. Defensively, the Cowboys forced 4 turnovers and held the Bucs to just 52 rushing yards. Head coach Mike McCarthy says there's still a long ways to go. However, he's pleased with what he saw from his team in their season opener.
You get in these early games, the unscouted looks are high. I thought the guys did a good job adjusting to it, handling the adjustments. Did a really good job getting the ball distributed on the perimeter. Put up some good numbers. We just came up short a little bit with the points. But there's things definitely that are we can correct and work on. But I was proud of the way our guys played tonight.
You talked a lot about creating turnovers, and tonight was one of those nights. Can you discuss about that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're +3 in the turnover ratio. I mean, our defense did an outstanding job. We had 4. We had the 1 give on offense, but that's we want that to be a staple of our play style. It's something that we put a lot of time into. We spend a lot more time than I ever have. Particularly with the team fundamental drills, and it was great to see the guys have success in that area tonight.
You didn't run much. Was that the game plan to leave heavy on Dak's arm because?
Well, I think they had the injury early. Secondary, and just the way. Particularly their 5 defensive line front that they had, so we felt good about the matchups outside, and I thought our perimeter group did an excellent job producing.
What you make of Greg Zuerlein's night, starting with that 31-yard field goal that missed Gray?
I mean, obviously you like to see him make those kicks, and it's really, frankly, was part of the reason I went for the 60-yarder. I have great faith and confidence in him, and and we need him. He made the clutch kick there at the end to give us the lead before the 2-minute drive of Tampa. So, but yeah, well, I mean, we got to, you get in a game like that, you need all the points you can get. I thought Amari played very well. I mean, he had obviously a lot of targets, he had a lot of catches, a lot of production. I thought he did a good job yards after the catch. I think that, like anything, you're always into the game and the adjustments you make. I think that he's communicating, a lot better than last year. I think it's a product of, staff's in their second year. So I like the function and how fluid we were throughout the game on really both sides of the ball.
You had a turnover with Brady. Did you get enough pressure on Brady because he took advantage of AB because obviously AB is wrong? necessarily have
Yeah, I mean, I thought they did a good job getting the ball out, pretty quickly. I think, if we were able to get them to go to the second or third read but I mean, I thought they did a nice job, spreading us out, and they have a lot of weapons. So we knew we were coming in here with a big challenge, for our defense. But I love the energy that our guys played with. I loved how much everybody played, and it was important. We wanted our young guys to be part of this, and we knew we were going to have to come in here, empty our bucket in this weather. It was a humid night, and I thought our guys, gave it up and went for it.
A loss is still a loss. However, can we count this game as a moral victory? We'll discuss next. Getting a W is the most important goal in a football game. However, the 31-29 loss to the Bucs still gives the Cowboys hope and maybe a few moral victories. David Hellman, Derek Eagleton, and Nick Eatman discuss whether or not it's fair to be handing out those moral victories in their podcast, The Break.
When you play as well as the Cowboys did on the road against the defending champions, even though you lost the game, do you look at this as a moral victory or do you look at it as just another loss? Dave.
You know what's funny? Like, they didn't even play that well. I mean, no, I mean, not in the grand scheme. I'm thinking about special teams miscues, leaving 4 points on the field. Like, they did a lot of dumb stuff. Like, they didn't play the cleanest game in the world. Right. That's what I mean by that. But like, I'm sorry, people that just want to win all the time. Like, I am hype today, Derek. I am hype, and I can't tell you.
But I thought that was my role. What are you doing?
No, but see, the thing is I'm not going to try to tell you what it means for 18 weeks of the season. But this team can hang, and that matters because they could not last year. I mean, like, winning is the name of the game. They're 0-1. There's nothing they can do to change that. But you got a chance every time you take the field with a quarterback like Dak Prescott. That's what it boils down to for me. And if you throw in a defense that can get takeaways, they're not going to get 4 every week. But if they can reliably do it against somebody as good as Tom Brady, and maybe the Bucs will struggle this year. Maybe they're, we don't know. But it's a pretty good bet that they'll be good. Tom Brady's missed the playoffs how many times in his career? Mm-hmm. Like once? Seriously, how many times has Tom Brady missed the playoffs in his career? Like 2008 when he tore his ACL week 1. Like,
I didn't even count that one because that wasn't on him.
Oh, and 2002, right after his first of 7 Super Bowls. He's in the playoffs every other freaking year. So
I think they were an 11-win team that year, 10-win team that year that they didn't go.
They'll probably be in the playoffs. And the Cowboys went to their house and took it to the wire. And no, they didn't win. But I can't nitpick that too much after what we had to sit through last year, man. And I think sometime in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, when they stripped Godwin on the goal line and gave Dak a chance to go down and take the lead, I was like, this is all I can really ask for, is if they're in the game, they got this badass quarterback who can make every throw, and it's fun and it's entertaining. And if you can't find some joy in that, of knowing that he gives you a chance every week, and that's all you can ask for. If you can't find some joy in that, maybe reevaluate why you're even doing this.
Nick, moral victory or just another loss?
Both, because it was just another loss. But, moral victory is if you're content.
And I don't want to get you too far. I know you and Nate had a whole debate on this last year. But
I listened to some of their show. If you have to play that role, you have to play the role. I mean, if that's how you believe that, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for those two guys, Jesse and Nate I'm talking about. I feel sorry if they really believe that. Now, if they're playing the role of, like, we got to be on the other side because Shannon and Kurt, because I was watching some of their show, then that's the role they're going to play. Fine, play the role. But if you really believe that gets doom and gloom because of that game, then why are you doing this? Well, why are you being a fan? Why are you, it's a long season. If the players were excited about it, then you could have a problem. Yeah. It was a quiet plane ride. It was a quiet bus ride. One of the more quiet planes I've been on. Yeah. They were upset because they know they had a game. But like Dave said, if that's how you're going to play, like it's the same reason that we got into that argument about the Pittsburgh game back then. If you're going to play like that, bring it every week. Because I promise you this: the Eagles, the Chargers, the Giants, the Panthers, they can't hang with that if you play like that all the time.
Be sure to listen live to The Break weekdays at 11:30 a.m. on DallasCowboys.com. Cowboys have a few days until they head out west to face the Los Angeles Chargers September 19th for their second game of the regular season. Be sure to stay locked in on DallasCowboys.com to stay up to date on all team news. I'm Dani Sureck. Thanks so much for tuning in to Cowboys Rewind.
Cowboys Rewind was brought to you by AT&T, SWBC Mortgage. Join the more than 120,000 customers that we've helped to find their happier way home. Visit SWBCMortgage.com to find a pro today. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.